Well, we knew snow was a possibility for this game, and the weather was happy to oblige with a nice layer of white over Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium, and we got more snow on the way. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Prescott on first down. And his first look is incomplete. Well, these two teams faced off earlier in the year, right around mid-season, back in Week 9. And it was the visiting Steelers who came away victorious, so they'll look to claim the season series with a win here in Pittsburgh. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Prescott. This is Chase Claypool on the receiving end. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. And they'll run for the first time with Najee Harris. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. The Steelers at 10-2 on the year, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. To throw is Prescott. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Nick Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 48. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump up to a 3-zip lead. Well, they started the drive backed up pretty deep, but a nice effort to overcome the field position, get into field goal range on the game's opening possession.
And Brandon, I think from where they started, the initial thought was, can we get 1 or 2 first downs and help out our defense after we pump the ball away with field position? But as that drive went on, I think their sights got set a little bit higher. They were thinking touchdown, ended up settling in between and coming away with a field goal.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. This defense for the Steelers, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
And what keyed their victory? The pass rush. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well. Hard to throw the ball downfield when all you're seeing is opposing jerseys come at you.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Eric Stokes. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. This is caught inside the 15. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. George Pickens hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan? Or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
A 2nd and 10 on a chilly, snowy December day. And I must say, I'm loving it. Kind of putting me in the holiday spirit. Charles hates it. And he's giving me the evil eye, folks. Quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. And
it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. Well, he'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Gets this out wide to Pickens. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 68 yards receiving now for him in the game. And a 1st down on that last catch as well.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
1st down, Prescott. Harris has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, here's Harris. And they're going to stop him short of the first down as he's tackled at about the 21. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a 4th down. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2, got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Bengals drive about to get going. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They'll start this drive out on the ground, and he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. This is Donnell with a grab. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Room here to run. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Maybe that is the boost that this offense needed.
They've done nothing the entire half, but out of the blue comes this big shot here. You're exactly right. Like a dunk in basketball, like a home run in baseball, maybe a solo shot. Sometimes you need that big play to get things ignited.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 13-7. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Prescott looks to throw on first. That's swung out wide to Harris. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And good work there in open space, and he's got this all the way down now to the 32.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
A first down throw for Prescott. He's got his tight end Freiermuth right side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 21 yards. I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible. The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Boswell's kick is good. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. From the 6. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. And the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, Davis.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And they're going to get this down inside the 20. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Prescott now. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Prescott to throw it. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the 1st half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to throw. Prescott. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
Now Prescott. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Not the 1st and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Here's Prescott. Under pressure, they got him again. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this 1st half. So from outside the red zone now after the sack, a long 3rd and goal. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Fielded right around the 8. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. Running room at the 50. Look out. Past the 20. He will score. Touchdown, Bengals. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him. Kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. McPherson on for the point after. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So not much time to speak of remaining in this 1st half as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep two eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting two hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Play fake. Here's Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's caught inside the 35. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
Now a first down carry for Harris. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
89 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Burrow. And he's got some space here. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the first down. A nice pickup of 17 yards. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. And some room to work. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. And that run going to put him over 100 yards now for the ball game as well.
Yeah, he's really had his way so far, and that's just more of the same right here. All he needs, just a little crease, and off he goes.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is down to 2. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Takes it at the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. But, Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They'll look to throw here. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
That's going to be caught by Pickens. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
An option handoff given to Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Off the play fake, Prescott completes this one to Pickens. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Prescott to throw on 4th. Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he is going to have the Steelers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. From the red zone now, Prescott. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
But the criticism is that he overthrew his man, but yeah, give him credit. He also didn't risk an interception with that type of a throw. Because of that, they still have a chance to put some points on the board.
Third quarter of a 2-point game, a good one so far. Here's 2nd and 10. They run with Harris. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Here's Prescott. That throw finds Pickens in the end zone. Touchdown Steelers. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes this a 9-point game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. Now it's Burrow. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
It was starting to become a game for him to forget with the interceptions, but that's a step in the right direction. Not only did he choose to run it instead, but he saw the field well and made a nice pickup to get a new set of downs.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, 61 yards. And the Bengals are able to get a score back in the final stages of this 3rd quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is down to 2. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's McPherson now to send it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've seen their lead nearly extinguished after that last score. But bottom line, they are still on top with the football. And a touchdown on this drive would really put them in position A. 47 yards rushing for him now to this point. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it. But what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Prescott from the gun. He'll let it fly for Austin. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And the Bengals are right back in this football game. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Here we go. Hey, can.
Now it's Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. And now they will throw it with Burrow. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Steelers are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. So a costly INT in the end zone, no less, puts the brakes on their potential scoring drive.
So many teams stick with the passing game down near the goal line because they see it as an extension of what they do between the 20s. But as we said many, many times, the further you drive, the more the field shrinks. And that was a nice job of making a play on the football and coming away with the interception.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Another important fourth-quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Yetur Gross-Matos there to bring him down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now it's 2nd and 9. To throw is Prescott. He'll let it fly for Austin. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
After what they faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. But how about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
So with a lead at 5, the book definitely says go for 2 here to try to get it to a 7-point differential. And this one's caught. And their fourth-quarter lead grows by a couple more. So a big play there. Not only the fumble return for the touchdown, then they get the 2-point try. And, you know, for the defense, though, they were just over there sitting on the field. They had to rush out to try to defend that.
You know, it's funny. They actually practice situations that they call sudden change when the team turns it over. I'll guarantee you no one practices a fumble return for a touchdown like that, and now someone goes for 2. Really good strategy by them putting them in that situation.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this fourth quarter deficit. Now, this series could very well determine our outcome. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Prescott. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, that's going to be a costly one. It's intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 33. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. Throwing now is Joe Burrow. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I think we've hit that point in the game now where any score you get could be the one that actually wins it. So above all, you want to avoid a turnover that leaves you coming away with nothing.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will stay a 1-score game as the lead will hold at 6. But things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
Prescott finding Harris over the middle. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Dak. It's Najee Harris now on back-to-back plays with a catch. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Nice, well-coached, a team that understands what's going on. They still have time to work the middle of the field as they just did there.
Now Prescott. This is caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They They come up on a 1st and goal and most likely 4-down territory as they need a touchdown and the PAT for the lead. In motion goes the tight end. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the 4th quarter. A very important extra point there, up and good. And that is going to put them on top by a point, and it sets us up for quite a finish. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Bengals drive about to get going. And I hate to point to that missed field goal from their last drive, but you look at the scoreboard, they would be in the lead if they had that 3.
Well, no doubt those points or those missed points do loom large, but here they're getting a chance for a makeup, aren't they? Almost like my time in school, I was always begging my teachers for a makeup exam. Here's their opportunity now to put those points on the board.
And every point becoming more vital here in the second half. To throw, Burrow. Complete, finding Donnell. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Throwing, Burrow. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Steelers, the win pushes their record now to 11-2 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, it's just their 3rd loss as they fall now to 10-3. And they'll get a home date next week against the Minnesota Vikings.